and they've built themselves up.
But that's the thing.
But you said, as a administrator, you can see straight through it.
I do. That's what I was going to say. The ones that are those, I see them, I spot them so quickly.
Yeah.
Well,
this and the thing is, my scores have, I've had great scores with honors kids.
Mm-hmm,
but
of course.
with on-level, SWD, all that, like, my scores are pretty average. They ain't great.
Okay.
But I also love sharing what I do to help. That doesn't mean, like, I don't think you have to have these high scores to back it up.
Right. So
if it's something that shakes up your room and makes it better than just the norm, to me, that's my specialty.
Yeah.
I don't...
Because that creates motivation in kids. And they want to work. And
right. And I've learned that over the years, you know, scores may come and go. But what you're doing is every single day. Like, it's not... Who cares?
Right.
Let me stop talking about who cares about these scores. Because clearly someone does.
Somebody somewhere does.
It ain't me right now.
Girl. So, one other... Okay, Vibe Tribe.
Yes.
So, your most ideal Vibe Tribe.
Alicia.
We just named...
Keisha, Alicia, Brittany.
We just named all the characteristics. Not specific people. I agree though. Those are you have to keep, the point of a Vibe Tribe is a person to keep you in a positive space and positive energy.
Right.
And focused on what the goal is.
Mm-hmm. But, okay, downside to Vibe Tribe can be viewed as cliques. But we had this, I think, did we talk about this? That there was a new teacher and she was telling on us.
For bullying.
Saying that we weren't sharing the good stuff or whatever. And that was, but see, that all was nipped in the bud real quick once she realized that's not what that was. That was just the insecure, you know, you're new person on the block and you can't really connect.
Mm-hmm. But she's okay now.
She figured it out.
I can't stand you.
But
so
the Vibe Tribe transcends the workplace, though.
To me,
should it or no?
They can. But here's what I think: if you're with the right Vibe Tribe, y'all, if there are several positive Vibe Tribes throughout the building. Yeah. And you realize you're not a part of that, perhaps you should check your energy. Because likely you're so negative and you're such an energy sucker. You know, you just suck the life and the energy out of people.
Right.
If you find yourself not fitting into anyone's Vibe Tribe, you might need to reconsider like what your approach is to things.
Right. I mean, and our Vibe Tribes have blended with the other ones in the school. Right. So then it becomes like, oh, I know her. Yeah. Like we've hung out. We've sent invites. Like, let's go out and do. And they're not in our department, but we know we all are the same vibe. Right. Where it's like betterment of the school.
It is a betterment of school. It's the culture. It increases the culture and it increases morale.
And the students identify your vibe. So they'll be like, oh my gosh, or they may slip up and call you another teacher's name. They're not calling you that name because you look like them or whatever. It's the vibe. It's the same vibe. So like literally another teacher, shout out Miss Sims. I love her. Even though like we don't hang all the time or anything like that, but the vibe is the same.
Absolutely.
So she sent a student and was like, the girl goes, Miss Sims thinks that you're going to let me out to come and take this test. And I was like, absolutely. Like, right. Because I knew who it was coming from. And I was like, I knew she wouldn't ask me that unless it was something real important. Just girl, based on the vibe.
It's a bus driver that's on my Vibe Tribe. I got 2 bus drivers whose vibes are off. Like, I just, one of them is a substitute bus driver. We just had this conversation this morning. And I just met her the week before Thanksgiving break on the Wednesday. And immediately when she pulled up, I heard her say, where are your smiles as you're getting off this bus? She was just so high energy. And I looked at her and I said, is this me on this bus? And she just like, we immediately connected. So, you know, you can feel the vibes.
It doesn't have to be women, because my co-teacher is also part of my vibe tribe. Like,
oh my gosh, yeah, one of our male co-teachers, our special ed teachers in the building, and our regular ed guy. He's awesome. Yeah,
and I mean, Making Change Men, who is our other science biology teacher who has his own male mentorship program. Shouting you out because you just did your first event over Thanksgiving.
Congratulations!
In West Georgia.
Wish I would have known.
I wish I would have known too, a little sooner. Anyways, I'm gonna tag him in this because he's doing some big things. But he's part of the Vibe Tribe, and then there's like even our custodian. The other day,
oh yeah,
like literally, I was working and he came in, and I would continue working, and it was like a long time. And all of a sudden, I snapped out of it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. How was your day?" Like, because normally I greet him every time he comes in or whatever. And so we both died laughing. And he's from Africa, I think Ghana. Laughing. We were laughing so hard. And he was like, "No, we're both working our butts." Like, so he got it. It wasn't like a,
she being stuck up and rude today.
Not dare speak to me, or I'm going to force myself to speak to you, or anything like that. It was like, oh, yes, vibe.
Yeah. Your vibe tribe should be able to, because we all have good and bad days. We keep talking about being positive and positive energy, but your vibe tribe should be able to talk you off the ledge.
Yeah.
If you're coming with some shenanigans thinking that a kid is planting a mouse in your room, your vibe tribe should be able to say, girl, hey.
But sometimes I have to admit, your vibe tribe rides for you. Like, the kid is cutting up. We all own them. Like,
but that's
what like that?
No, but that's support. That's
all
fine.
Hands on deck.
That's good.
And then and then don't let us all be on the cycle together. Oh my gosh. Then they better watch.
That
out.
Is a caution for you ladies out there. If you do have a all-female vibe tribe, the likelihood of sinking is very high.
Girl, we be like, "Who's next? I'm ready." And we were like, "Ready for what?" And then just laugh. But like, we're ready to fight. Like, who's next?
But
thank God for the males on our hall who are like, "Y'all are crazy right now. Calm down."
Mm-hmm. But that support, even through Bloody Mary, that is
and crying,
all positive.
I wonder if there's. Are you a crier
at work?
Yeah. Mm-mm. Well, I cry with my vibe tribe, but like, and not the males probably. Like, if it's something that I'm going through, never in front of the students, and never about the students, really. It's always something personal that I'm going through. I'm like, I just don't feel like it today because I have this going on in my life.
And what does your vibe tribe do for you? At the point,
listen, nod, tissues, cry too. It just depends on what it is.
Yeah.
And if you've been somewhere long enough, then you know people. Like, sometimes if I see your room is out, I'm not one of those that's going to force myself on you, but I already know through text what you're going through. I see your light out. I'm not going to let you sit there in the dark. Right. Like, what are you doing with this gospel music playing?
You do force yourself on people when they're going through.
I will.
We kind of appreciate that.
Like, look, we don't hug you.
We don't say it, but we do appreciate that. It makes us feel a little loved.
Sometimes it's not words. Sometimes it's like, let me just hug you so you can cry it out. Like, let me just show you that you don't have to be in here crying in the dark.
If you don't have a vibe tribe, you need to get one. And if you can't find a place to fit in, I would suggest that you kind of reflect a little bit.
Well, but Brittany's going through that a little bit. Her vibe tribe was so strong with us that
she hasn't been able to recover.
She hasn't been able to find the same. And when you start out with something so strong, you may not ever find.
But it may be, you're always going too deep. So it could be that you're the person who has the good vibe that you can't find. So when I say reflect,
it doesn't mean it has to be something wrong.
No, yeah, you need to reflect on, okay, is this the right building for me? If I'm not finding anybody that I'm connecting with in my spirit, like, and you know that you're positive, you know you're on the up and up, you know you're doing the right thing, then that might be assigned to check.
Toxic.
Yeah. Get out of there. Get out of there.
It's true.
And sometimes you might find your vibe in an unlikely place. We've named the custodian. Mm-hmm. I know Brittany told me that her student teacher was the one that she ended up vibing with in my school, where there were not a whole lot of people like in my vibe, on my vibe at my old school. It was the school psychologist. Random folks. The school psychologist supposed to come in and out, but I connected with parents. I saw her today.
Oh my God.
Parents, the school nurse.
Yeah.
Like I just told you about me vibing, a part of my vibe tribe being the doggone bus drivers.
Yeah.
You know, there are people who have kindred spirits. And sometimes you definitely have to try the spirit by the spirit. And if your spirit is saying,
right,
run away.
And, you know, sometimes
Protect
we
yourself.
are totally engulfed in our students because that's what we're there for. And, you know, not saying that you have to be there only for the adults, but sometimes the students are not all the time, the students are not your friends. And if you are finding comfort in discussing your life and what you need from and your personal things with the students,
you need
and
to go.
Middle school teachers, don't do that.
Why middle school teachers? Why are you saying middle school teachers?
All their business.
I don't think that. I really don't. Okay. I was a middle school administrator and I taught middle school. I didn't see that. I really didn't.
When those kids come to us, they know the dirty details about like all the middle school teachers. And I'm like, why are they telling you
Give me some examples.
Like who their boyfriends are, who they're dating, what kind of music. Like
my middle schoolers knew my husband.
That's a husband, yeah.
Because he would come to the school. They knew what kind of music I listened to because I had posters on the wall.
Yeah. I heard that this is only from students, so no teacher has ever said, but middle school teachers say stuff like, I'm just here for a check.
Okay, so I'm going to have to make you pause for the cause for a second.
Okay.
Do not stereotype all middle school. I don't know who your feeders are.
Well, that, and then also from my nieces and what their teachers have told them in middle school in Fulton and in Douglas. So I'm like, oh.
Okay. Again, those are neither of the systems that I've been in, and I did. So
Carol may be an outlier.
I've never seen
they
that.
They are amazing, self-containing middle school teachers who don't share.
Well, I'm not saying that. I think that they share, but I don't think that it became again, I don't know who. I felt like my coworkers stayed within the lanes, let them know enough to feel like they were building relationships with them, but, you know, definitely had their private lives.
Yeah.
I didn't see that in the middle school that I taught in.
Oh, and this is another thing that's weird to me is that.
What, girl, what?
Because I am a high school teacher, so I'm not friends with my students until they graduate.
Right, me either.
Middle school teachers, we're friending them after they graduate, which would be when they're in high school. So.
After they leave middle.
Yeah, so they're like, let me keep contact, all of that. And so it's like, but then you have this adolescent that's your friend on social media. That's just weird to me, but I've never been.
It is weird.
Yeah, like I've never been in that position because I've only taught, and then once they left freshman year.
But as a middle school teacher, my rule was when you graduate high school, you can be my friend on Facebook.
Yeah.
So,
maybe you're just special.
I'm not.
You are. Yes, you are holding up. Because you've said and I've said, I don't know what goes on in other classes.
But I've been in, well, of course they weren't doing that when I was
they're not going to do that in front of you, the administrator. Hit me up on Facebook and Instagram.
I'm even talking about the inappropriate conversations because kids come and tell me so much. And they never mentioned that. I mean, so much business. Yeah, so teachers, if you think that.
Kids your child are your vibe. Your kids are your vibe tribe.
You need to shut that down because